These animals belong to the class of mammals and belong to the bear family. In theory, they belong to the order of predators. But the diet of pandas consists mainly of plant foods, although in rare cases they can feed on eggs, fish and small animals. Pandas have large size, massive body and thick, sturdy limbs. The growth of adults varies from 1.2 to 1.6 m, and the weight can reach 160 kilograms. In general, pandas resemble ordinary bears in their appearance with one small difference: these creatures have a tail, 10 to 15 centimeters long. The panda's fur is thick and dense, and serves them as excellent protection from the winter cold. But the main feature of these creatures is their unique color. The black and white coloring of bamboo bears makes them very attractive, and gives the impression of being dressed in a fancy dress. And the black spots around the eyes give the pandas a touching and slightly sad expression. Basically, these animals move on all four limbs, but they can also assume an upright position, reaching the upper leaves and stems. The gait of pandas is slow and clumsy. They are not able to move quickly, since they do not have strength and endurance. Black and polar bears have good eyesight, but they are more guided by their hearing and superbly developed scent. They are great at climbing trees and know how to swim, although they are not very fond of water. The lifespan of pandas in the wild is 12 to 15 years. In captivity conditions, this figure rises to 25 to 35 years. The homeland and original habitat of all pandas is China. These animals are found exclusively in the PRC, and even then in certain regions. Giant pandas are found in the central Chinese province of Sichuan. A small population has survived in the highlands of Tibet. There are no more than 2,000 bamboo bears around the world, and more than half of them are kept in parks and national reserves. The few individuals remaining in the wild live where bamboo grows, inhabited mixed, deciduous and coniferous forests, and prefer to hide from human eyes in the mountain hills. Until the middle of the 20th century, the Chinese giant panda was considered the only representative of its kind. But in 1960, scientists discovered a population of bears, which, after a long study, were attributed to the panda family. And at the moment, two subspecies are distinguished in the classification of these animals: Ailuropoda melanoleuca, giant panda. These are typical pandas with black and white fur, and the whole world knows them as bamboo bears. Ailuropoda melanoleuca kinlingensis, large brown or brown panda. And these are their closest relatives, who received the status of a separate species in 2005. In the Himalayan mountains, some Chinese provinces, Nepal and Bhutan, an animal lives, which is called a small fire panda. These unique creatures are small in size, weighing only 3 to 6 kilograms, have a bright red or brown color, and look like raccoons. But despite the name, these fluffy babies have nothing in common with big pandas, except that they are united by an addiction to eating bamboo. Although zoologists determined that both species of animals had a common ancestor, their further evolution followed different paths, so that the giant panda and the small fire panda belong to separate genera. Big brown panda. The natural habitat of these bears is limited to the Qinling mountain range, located in the southwestern Chinese provinces of Henan and Shaanxi. The brown panda is also called Qinling in honor of the mountains, which have been a safe haven for them for many centuries. For their place of residence, these creatures chose the inaccessible mountains, located at an altitude of 1,300 to 3,000 kilometers above sea level, and lead such a hidden lifestyle that scientists did not even believe in their existence at first. Brown pandas are still practically not studied. Zoologists know little about their reproduction and habits. Indeed, over the past 3 decades, scientists were lucky enough to see them in the wild no more than 5 times. In 1989, with the help of local residents, a young female brown panda was caught, which was named Dendeng, and settled in a Chinese zoo. When she reached puberty, she was bred with a common black and white male. Dendeng became pregnant and gave birth to 3 unviable cubs, after which all attempts at further breeding in captivity proved to be a failure. Dendeng herself lived a long life. At the time of her death she was 29 years old. Through the study and observation of this truly priceless specimen, zoologists have compiled a rough description of the brown panda species. These animals differ from their black and white relatives in smaller size and color. The brown panda has a light brown or beige background, and this is another mystery that scientists have yet to solve. After all, they never managed to determine what is the reason for such an unusual shade for pandas.